And what is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, over the age of 21? You are listening to Burnline Podcast, coming to you live from Covalent Spirits on Main Street, historic downtown Westminster, Maryland, USA. I am your host, Johnny Midas, and we are celebrating Top Shelf Sip and Smoke with Tom Cannon of Tobacco on Main Street, and of course hosted here at Covalent Spirits. A little bit of a drizzly, blustery spell right here. It's supposed to pass in a couple of minutes, and of course a little rough weather never kept rough men away, so we are excited about this. I'm stitching in some footage right here of the cigar pack. This $100 pack gets you into the event, and it features these four beautiful cigars. And I'm going to start out with this guy. That is the Christoph Signature Series PCA 2022 in a gorgeous box-pressed Figurado Vitola. Excited to see how this burns. So I'm going to go ahead and light up, and while I do that, I will show you a little bit about what is going on around the Sip and Smoke. We're kind of just getting started, selling tickets, and actually already sold out. But Drew is hard at work at the grill. Delicious menu today. We've got shrimp cocktail. We've got beef bites. We've got salad, if you're that kind of person. Locally made pecan bars that are basically to die for. And little charcuterie boards. Just a great menu here. And big shout out to Covalent for putting that on. And of course, we have their signature mixed drinks. And I have got this gorgeous old-fashioned. So this is this bourbon pecan bar. Fucking to die for. I would legitimately pay $20 for this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So El Fumo is lighting up with the Ashton ESG 20-year salute from 2017.
Yeah.
It's got 8 years of age on it. And what's funny about this cigar is, despite the natural colored wrapper, it is about the closest cigar you can get. Yeah, it's about the closest you can get to a Padron 1964 in flavor.
For half the price.
For half the price. Not anymore. You can't even get them. And of course, rolled by Fuente, and since it's a Dominican Puro, I'm assuming it's all Fuente tobacco as well. All right, thank you. Put that up for the camera, and that is what I'm eating. Shrimp cocktail and truffle fries.
Hold on.
Yeah, grab that for the grams, dude. That is the shit.
Get a good picture of you as well.
And you want a shrimp?
No, I'm good, thank you.
You want something else? There's a whole food menu.
I saw the steak. I was like, ooh.
There's steak bites. There's pommes frites.
Yeah.
Dead truffle.
Steak bites might be a little out of my price range.
Try a fry though.
Alright, I'll do that. That's good.
Truffle fries.
You know what's funny? I don't know about you, but when I go to certain restaurants, I mostly judge it by the fries, not by the overall food. It's the fries for me.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
We need to do an episode on pairing seafood with cigars because it's kind of hard to do.
That's all you, buddy.
The shrimp is amazing.
I'm not a seafood person at all. I think I told you that.
I'm a seafood person. I eat seafood and I eat it.
Yeah, that's the kind of seafood person I am. So, quick seafood story since we're talking about it.
Quick seafood story.
So, when I was a younger boy, I think around 6 or 7, when we would go to Tijuana, when our parents would take us to Tijuana, because it was so easy back in the 90s, to get back and forth to Mexico. There was this really, really nice, seafood restaurant, really nice, not gonna lie. But I was pissed every time I went there because I didn't eat anything on the menu because I am not a seafood person. I had to wait because that would be the first stop, and then they would get me street tacos. I'm like, yo, street tacos is so much better than bullshit ass seafood. And of course, it's Grade A seafood because it's like right there next to the beach in Tijuana. Like,
Sounds like a false dichotomy. I feel like you could have seafood and street tacos.
I know, but just never been a seafood person. Like, I can eat the shrimp, I can eat crab, I can eat lobster, just don't go out of my way to do it. Like, my mom would make this really good dish as far as seafood goes. You probably, if I say it, you might know what I'm talking about.
Paella?
No. Camarones a la diabla?
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, well, it's like shrimp in like bathed in a red sauce and some other stuff.
Yep.
So I wouldn't eat it, but I would eat the sauce on a tostada, and that was it. I just would not touch the seafood.
I'll tell you what, these truffle fries are amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty good. That steak he was cutting up looked pretty good, though.
It is really good.
Hey, Tom.
Stepping right here. There you go. And turn this way. Here.
Sit on his lap.
Right. So this is Tom Cannon, founder of Tobacco on Main Street, and of course host of the very first Top Shelf Sip and Smoke at Covalent Spirits this year.
With the greatest guests in the world.
Yeah.
With the greatest host in the world, and of course we're really looking forward to the next 5 and qualifying for that raffle. I am a capitalist at heart. So I'm smoking the PCA 2022 signature from Christoph. Love this stick. I love the Vitola. It makes me feel special. It's a special Vitola. It's a soft box pressed Figurado, and Angel smoking the ESG 20-year Salute, another great cigar. And of course, that's one thing that keeps us coming out of the top shelf is, man, you can't get these cigars.
Yes, Angels is El Fumos is a known unicorn. Johnny Midas is smoking an unknown unicorn, but it absolutely is a fantastic cigar that totally flew under the radar. Again, there's only one place in the world you can get it.
Which is Tobacco on Main
We
Street.
hope to see you there. I am enjoying an Alec Bradley Black Market Pump, which is now out of production.
Oh, wow.
Right.
It's one of the lines that they stopped making after General acquired them. This one happens to be about 8 years old.
Damn.
But it's one of those that the regular sizes were an okay everyday smoke. But
Yeah.
you smoke the little one, boom. It's a fantastic, fantastic smoke. Thanks for watching. Keep watching. These guys are great.
Thanks.
Thanks, Tom. All right, so smoking this Christoph Signature Series PCA 2022 here at Top Shelf Sip and Smoke. And, what's really special about Top Shelf is, first of all, it is limited. If you're here, it's invitation only and it's special. If for some reason it didn't sell out, then it's open to everybody. You should really check it out. Reach out Facebook to Tobacco on Main Street or stop by. And we always feature cigars that you can't buy anymore. They don't make them anymore. And this Christoph PCA 2022 is one of them. What really stands out about this smoke is it has all of the flavors that you would expect in a full-bodied cigar. Earth and leather and chocolate, but the strength profile is about a 6, and so you get this full-bodied experience without, kind of knocking you back into your seat the way that some of these stronger cigars do, which is great if you're at an event where you plan to smoke more than one stick, which we're kind of planning on doing this evening. And of course, I am pairing this with this gorgeous honey lemon lavender old-fashioned from Covalent. Now, if you haven't heard of Covalent Spirits right here on Main Street in Westminster, Maryland, they are rapidly making a name for themselves by having the best mixed drinks in a 100-mile radius. Additionally, they submitted some of their stuff for awards and submitted 5 of their whiskeys recently. All 5 medaled. So, fantastic job from Covalent. You're really getting top-notch spirits when you come here. And, of course, it's a really fun vibe. And I really like that they went a different direction with the decoration from all of these, sort of spirit houses now that have like the Rick House vibe. That's a little old now. It's a little passe, and we went a different direction here at Covalent Spirits. Very open and inviting and beautiful space, and we'll shoot some video and splice that in as well. But right now we are live at the very first Top Shelf Sip and Smoke event with tobacco on Main Street, and just going to pan through the crowd here so you can see some of the folks that showed up. And of course this weather should clear up in a little bit, but you know, you just can't keep us away from a good stick and a good drink, and the menu is amazing. So once we get some food out here, I will show you all that as well. Right now I'm going to enjoy this Christoph, and I may even throw some tasting notes in here for you guys. I do not know where Angel is, but his loss. He's like, I'll probably just park at Tom's. I'm like, you might not have parking back there, but
You know, there's a lot of people that I don't understand why that don't think dinosaurs are real.
well, you have people that think the Earth is flat.
Yeah, I mean, that one I can like see their reasoning, like some thought behind it, like, you know. No, I'm not.
No.
I'm not validating them. It's like, okay, I haven't been to space. Okay, kind of fair, but it's like dinosaurs are fake and the devil put them there. I'm like, what? It's just like, what do you mean?
Yeah, but
Wrong way.
in philosophy, there's a name for that, right? Which is what we call last Thursdayism. But last Thursdayism is a humorous, philosophical mind game where you're like, the Earth is 5,000 years old. God created it. There were no dinosaurs. He put those fossils in the ground to test your faith. Okay, well then how come? Then how do you know the Earth wasn't created last Thursday? And all your memories are fake.
Yeah.
And all the history we have is fake, right? How do you know? And the answer is you don't. Which the logical implication is, therefore it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because what you're saying is you can't trust your senses. They're not real. You have to believe something that somebody else told you. That's no different from saying the Earth started last Thursday. If that's true, you're basically fucked because you can't believe anything.
Yeah. I would honestly be okay with this being the Matrix.
That joke goes over differently in different parts of the world, by the way.
Oh yeah, my bad.
For our international listeners that are in Africa, the Middle East, parts of Asia,
Yeah. Russia.
some parts of South America, Russia, possibly Canada in the next few weeks.
Oh yeah, seriously, Jesus Christ. To our Canadian listeners, I don't even know. Are we even allowed in Canada right now, actually?
India or Pakistan.
Remember they had that weird, like, media law?
Yeah.
Fuck. By the way, if you're Canadian and listening, drop us a line. Be like, hey, we're in
Yeah,
Canada.
tell us what's going on.
But anyways, back to what I was trying to say about dropping some knowledge, cigar related. So I was talking to one of our guys and just listening to what the workforce in Nicaragua is like right now, and like obviously cigar industry took a hit because of immigration, and apparently so immigration for us, immigration for them. So a lot of people are like either not working as much down there or just not working at all because like the value of our dollar is just so much, and the guys working up here sending money down there just goes so far.
Yeah, you'll have like one or two family members that come work in the U.S. and send money back.
Yeah.
They don't have to work.
Or like you have 10 guys and they're supporting like the whole family because like what they make is enough to live here and to fucking send back home and support home. So that's part of the reason, you know, they're losing a lot of skilled cigar rollers, and why, I mean, sure, the tariffs, but part of the reason cigars are also going up in price.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this last year when we smoked the Jason Newman American, where everything is American, and it was $20, you know, in Maryland. So there's, you know, the floor tax and stuff. It was over $20, and you know that would be the price of a cigar produced in the U.S. Assuming they can find the workforce to produce the volume people want, which they can't, which bumps the price up anymore. But you know, part of it is that cigar labor is kind of due for a wage increase just to be competitive.
Yeah.
And if that happens, the price of cigars go up. And what nobody knows is the price elasticity of cigars.
Yeah.
So if you started paying $17 to get in the door and smoke a stick, are you going to smoke anything but a Fuente?
Yeah.
Right? Or a Padron, or whatever it is, the brand that you like? Well, probably not.
Yeah.
And they don't have any reason to adjust their prices up. They can absorb a lot of that cost because they're already pricey.
Yeah.
Right? And so the difference between cigar prices gets closer. So it's not great for the market, definitely not good for the hobbyist and the fact that, access to affordable smokes. But it's also time. I think we're just going to see that, particularly in Nicaragua, because frankly, the cigar industry has taken them from jungle and indigenous peoples to getting close to first world, and hey, that comes at a price.
Yeah. So one thing that we've talked about it. One thing the cigar makers are doing, AJ Fernandez, Plasencia, like the big three, AJ Fernandez, Plasencia, and Arturo Fuente, is providing free perks. Providing free education, supplies for school, housing, blah, blah, blah. It's like, that's what they got to do to be competitive.
I talk about Hispaniola, the old name of the island. The Dominican Republic and Haiti share an island.
Yeah.
There's a line down the middle.
It's not that big.
Not the same place at all between the two.
No.
And the cigar industry is a large reason why the Dominican Republic is safe, prosperous, all of this stuff. Oh, it's safer.
Safer.
Right? Safer than Baltimore.
There's not a guy eating people on that side of the island, apparently.
Yeah. Sometimes democracy doesn't work.
Yeah, not the right way. Wait, are you advocating for socialism, sir?
I'm advocating for principled anarchy. More on that on our other podcast.
Yeah.
Our political podcast.
Add that to the portfolio.
Add it to the portfolio.
Everybody, welcome to Tobacco on Main Street's very first Sip and Smoke Top Shelf event. Very glad that you are all here. We hope to continue to build upon previous traditions. This is an exclusive audience. You should feel privileged that you're here. I don't invite just anybody. There was another 20 to 30 people that wanted to be here tonight. They are now on the alternate list for the next time. The other 4 or 5 that don't show up. Part of the rules. Tonight, it doesn't matter what order you smoke them in. Normally I do ask you to wait till I tell you, because I do have a specific order. These cigars are all kind of close enough in the power and strength that it doesn't much matter. They are some fantastic cigars. I will tell you, if I invite you and you say yes, even knowing you can't make it, as long as you buy your pack of cigars, you're in for the raffle, because at the end of the year, October will be our last event. If you attended all 6, there's going to be a special raffle just for those people who attended all of the events.
All right.
You will greatly enjoy that swag. Want to talk a little bit about the 4 cigars you got. The headliner, the Ashton ESG 20 Years Salute. These are from 2017, so an extra 8 years age did nothing but help this cigar, which was a fantastic cigar to begin with.
Which one is this, Tom? I'm sorry, these kids were...
The Ashton ESG 20 Years Salute.
Thank you.
Dominican Puro, which means all the tobacco came from the Dominican Republic, probably the Fuente farm, since Fuente is the one that rolled this. It is a medium to full-bodied cigar offering flavors of nuttiness, earth, and spice. This is one of those cigars where the flavor is going to dance. About every half inch you're going to note some minor change in the cigar. It is one of Fuente's best efforts. They're the only reason that I even like Ashton. Next up, the Oliva Series V Melanio Maduro Churchill. Kind of the easiest way to describe this is the next closest thing to a Padron 1964 number 4 Maduro that doesn't say Padron. This is a fantastic cigar. Low end to full body, but very, very smooth. A solid everyday cigar, generally right around the $20 price point. Next up, the Oliva Series V Lancero. Regular Series V from Oliva, great everyday smokes. The Lancero, for those of you that don't know, Lanceros just kick it up a notch. They always do. Most cigars are rolled when they are created. They are rolled in a Corona size. Largely, that's just a efficiency aspect, because if you guessed wrong, you didn't waste a lot of tobacco. A Lancero essentially is a twice as long Corona. The flavor is more intense. You're going to get as a percentage factor, the wrapper leaf, which is always the most flavorful leaf on a cigar, makes up a larger percentage of the overall flavor on a thin cigar. You get a big fat Gordo, 60 ring or bigger, that's 90% filler. You're down to, the flavor on this is, going to be, what do you think, John? 20%-ish?
Yeah.
20% is going to be nothing but wrapper leaf. So Lanceros are the way to ramp it up. Christoph, the odd one in the bunch. I have to do some things that are different than other people in the hood. Christoph is one of those brands. It is, in my opinion, one of the most underrated brands out there. People don't know about it. They've not heard about it. They've not tried a lot of stuff. Pretty much everything they have is in the $10 to $20 range, so it's what is considered affordable nowadays. This one is from 2022, so 3 years age, limited edition PCA Signature Series. Connecticut broadleaf wrapper over Dominican binder and a Dominican and Nicaraguan filler. What's fun about this cigar, not only is it a perfecto shape, which is a very fun shape, opens up as a flavor bomb, is that this is a 6-power cigar. On a 1 to 10, it is only a 6, medium plus. What's fun about it is you are getting all the full-bodied flavors that you associate with full-bodied cigars. You're getting the earth, the coffee, the chocolate. But again, it's a 6. It's not going to knock your socks off, strength-wise. Limited edition. Again, the trouble with putting out, so like the Ash and ESG only had 20 of those, so that's why there's only 20 packs available. The Christoph PCA, limited because it's out of print. You just happen to be talking to the guy that owns the largest collection of them in the world at the moment. I own more than Christoph does, because when it was funny, the rep talked me into trying a box, and I said, all right, well, give me 2. And they were gone in a week and a half, 1 or 2 at a time. I then said, my next question was, well, how many do you have left? She gave me that answer, and I said, well, now you don't have any left. So if you find out you like it, boxes will be available next week sometime, is when the rest of the collection shows up. We're going to do some fun raffles. I do have some hats as incentives. If you want to buy some Oliva, great. This is my Oliva month. Next month we will be focusing on Christoph's, going to be the main brand at pretty much all the events I do. I will shake it up for Top Shelf, because that's what Top Shelf does. But one of the things I do love about Christoph, pretty much every cigar they make it in a Lancero, which is very unusual. Lanceros, despite being well liked amongst those that know the difference, they really don't sell well. So not a lot of companies make them. They're harder to roll. They don't sell as well as a Toro, yada, yada, yada. Christoph doubles down. Pretty much every cigar they make it in a Lancero. Okay. Again, with being one of the things I have to do is be different. That store, within about 2 to 3 months, is going to be the Lancero capital for the next 100 miles. There's going to be well over 50 Lanceros to choose from. Christoph kind of leading the pack. It is a worthwhile brand to check out. That's enough speeches. Enjoy.
Excellent. Love the Lancero.
So if you like Lanceros, Tobacco on Main Street's the place to go. Right now there is 9 new Lanceros, and we're a couple of shipments away from having, I believe, 50 different cigars in Lancero.
Wow, okay.
So, yeah. And again, the thing with the Lancero is it's much more potent and punchy. The wrapper flavor goes, from 80% of the flavor to 95% of the flavor, because there's more wrapper to filler ratio, and that's why a lot of cigar aficionados love Lanceros. Now, they don't sell very well, which is why a lot of shops don't carry them, which is why Tobacco on Main Street is now like the #1 purveyor for a broad radius.
Yeah, like we've talked about it. They're very expensive because it's mostly wrapper, and believe it or not, they're kind of difficult to roll.
They are difficult to roll.
Yeah, as simple as the design is, like it's a hard roll because of how
Yeah.
small the diameter.
Well, if you've ever seen rolling, and I posted this to our story a couple of times, West Tampa Tobacco has some great videos on Insta of rolling, and you have this little machine, you put the leaves in, and it rolls it up. If you get the leaves in the wrong position in a Toro, it kind of doesn't matter. It all rolls up.
Yeah.
In a Lancero, you just fuck the whole cigar.
Yeah.
Right? So it is very difficult to roll. And then, of course, after you get the core of the cigar with the binder, you have to put the wrapper on.
Yeah.
And if you've ever seen, somebody wrapping cigars like we did with Francisco Almonte of DBL when he was doing his live cigar rolling, of course, the core is already made. They're not bunching the cigars in front of you.
Yeah.
And those cores have to age a little bit, or it's going to be a shit cigar. But when you put the wrapper leaf on, wrapping around something that narrow is actually really challenging. And so Lanceros, they typically have to pay their level 3 roller,
Yeah.
whereas a Toro is a level 1.
Right.
Robusto level 1, maybe level 2. Figurados are level 3, and Lanceros are typically a level 3 or higher roller. And you better finish those fries.
All right. Can we talk about anything cigar related?
Yeah, just we're just enjoying these cigars and getting drunk and top shelf sip and smoke. That's it.
I just figured I'd drop some knowledge, stuff that we can't cover on the show.
Oh,
Yeah.
so Tom and I were talking about The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch. We're
Oh, yeah?
actually both fans of that show. Yeah.
I just saw the trailer for it.
And I was telling him about, I saw the cast. They're really the crew of the ranch, and they were on this like alien new age con type of thing for 2-something hours, and it was on YouTube. And just hearing the backstory, like, so for example, they were doing this for years before Prometheus Entertainment said, hey, we want to turn it into a show. And then after Prometheus Entertainment, they turned them down for 18 months. And finally they relented, but they're like, you have to show what's actually happening. And one of the reasons that they turned them down is they're like, the ranch doesn't perform on command, and we're afraid we're going to do these experiments and stuff and nothing happens. And the producer, and he's a great producer, by the way, and showrunner, he was like, if something happens, that's a story, and we'll tell it. If nothing happens, that's a story, and we'll tell it. And so they agreed, but they said there's only one episode, the first and last time that the network lied about what happened by the way they told their story, which is normal in reality TV.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you remember the episode with the llamas where they got, the camera went out, we don't know what attacked it, whatever. And they're like, no, in real life we knew exactly what happened because that's not the only fucking camera on the ranch. Pack of wild dogs came in, went into the pen, fucking wrecked some animals and left, and we saw them coming and leaving. That one front-facing camera did blip out. Is it weird? Yeah, it's fucking weird. Why did that camera go out and then come back on as soon as the attack is over? Who knows?
Yeah.
But we know what happened. And we went to the network and we said, we will fucking cancel the show if you pull that shit ever again. And he said, I don't mind telling you, the network already knows, And but it was cool to see like the backstory of what's going on there.
What do you think's going on there? Like there's like maybe a magnetic field leak there, or just some like.
Well, I like the when they did the structured light scanning. You had that clear cone over what they call the triangle.
Yeah.
And there's nothing. There's no reflection whatsoever, and it looks just like we would expect an Einstein-Rosen bridge to look if we scanned it with LiDAR.
Yeah.
And so it wouldn't surprise me if the anomaly is an Einstein-Rosen bridge, right?
That'd be wild, dude.
A surprisingly stable, localized Einstein-Rosen bridge. Of course, we also have to come to terms with the fact that, the bottom line is just the universe isn't what we think it is. We just don't. Our knowledge is baby knowledge, and we just don't know.
Yeah, it's hard for a physics, like if you talk to physics, of which you have, it's hard for them to just say, we don't know, shit just happens. Like, they have to have an explanation because it's just what they learn and, it's what they do. They can't accept the fact that shit just happens. And I'm sure there's rules that we're not aware of. Like, we know physics rules, but it's like there's got to be the unknowns that we're just...
Well, now, yeah. I mean, now with quantum theory, we're understanding how much we don't understand.
Right.
But Einstein said, I'm convinced God doesn't play dice with the universe, right? And I can't remember. It might have been Feynman, but somebody said... Not only does God play dice with the universe, but he throws them where they can't be seen.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what we're finding out with quantum theory. And, some of the stuff that we're seeing, we don't have an explanation, and that's okay. As long as we have an open enough mind to say, hey, I don't know everything. We can learn more. Right? And that's the basis of scientific thinking and the advancement of humanity is just coming to terms with, hey, I don't know. That's my take.
Yeah, which some people just have a hard time. Like that episode of Zahi, like that was pretty interesting. They got a little standoffish a couple points, but he seems pretty what do you want to say? Absolute about, we know how these got built, and I'm like, I don't think so, dude.
Well, I don't know. He's very common sense and down to earth and evidence driven. The problem is here's the problem that I see, and this is for archaeology in general, is they start with the known, and that's where they start their investigation. And they're collecting facts, but there's not room for creativity. There's not room to say what if, right? And that's where people like Graham Hancock come in, and they're like, no, I'm playing the what if game.
Yeah.
I don't have evidence. I have a theory, and I'm looking for evidence to support it. Is that backwards from how science works? Yes, that is backwards. We don't do that, right? We start with the evidence and construct a theory around it. But if we don't have room for creativity, we can never advance.
Yeah.
Because it's the creativity, and that's what Einstein said. He said, creativity is the highest form of intelligence, right? Einstein made shit up, but then he proved it mathematically. He's literally sitting there like, if I were on a photon, what would everybody else look like to me?
Right.
And that's how he came up with general relativity, right? So that's my take on it.
And then, fuck, dude, speaking of creativity, nobody else but, like, Randall Carlson could have come up with, like, when he was on that LSD trip, oh shit, all this was carved by rushing, millions and millions and millions of gallons of water rushing at one point. And it's
and I don't think we should rush over or gloss over the fact that he was on LSD.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Because what hallucinogens like that do, neurotropics, whatever you want to call them, what they do is they basically free up all the neural connections so you can form new ones, and it fosters creativity. Right? And he's looking at this and he's like, holy fuck, this looks like a giant goddamn flood carved all this out.
Yeah.
And of course now all the geologists are like, oh yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, we knew the whole time.
But it was a guy being creative, thinking outside the box on drugs that came up with the initial proposition.
Yeah. And then and like you said, it's like nobody said, oh no, you're wrong because you're on drugs. It's like, actually, yeah, that's what happened. It's like, fuck. But that's what's cool about not just Randall Carlson and Graham Hancock, but it's like if you let people that are really knowledgeable in those fields, just let them loose, let them do all that hoo-ha, that pseudoscience, and then let these official scientists come through and just prove it. And it's like, okay, I think there's a healthy balance there. I don't see why they can't work together.
No, I agree. I think it's like a social dynamic teamwork thing.
Yeah.
But academia works in such a weird fucking territorial way.
I don't like it.
No.
I mean, it's old. It's an old method. Yes, it worked, but it's like information evolves, science evolves. It's like, why can't your fucking method evolve?
Well, the other part to that is I'm a man of power and wealth and influence. Fuck you. You want me to kiss your ring so that I can be a PhD student under you? How about go fuck yourself? I'll make a name, and I'll fucking crush you and bury you. Right? And maybe academia just needs to attract more not pussies.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's, in a lot of ways, engineered to attract people that I couldn't make it otherwise.
Yeah.
I have to have the structure or whatever. It's about protecting power. And look, it's not all bad. And I'm a guy that has been to school more times than you can count.
Yeah.
I definitely support schooling and education and all of that. But when I look at how the whole graduate and PhD programs work and the power dynamic, it's fucking bullshit.
Yeah. You want to know what the most official field that's very informal is? Involving science?
Chiropractic.
Well, that too. Which is kind of funny how that started. Do we need to dive into that?
Not a scam. Hashtag.
It really is. I don't know. I've been fixed by it.
What? No. What were you gonna say?
Just the information that we have about dinosaurs. It was literally two rich dudes,
Oh yeah.
and it's like,
The history is hilarious.
yeah, and it's
with
like,
paleontology.
and it's official science, but it was like two dudes with informal education, a fuck ton of money, and that's the most informal official science we have. Mm-hmm. Everything else is bullshit, though.
It's pretty cool though, because they
Yeah.
got like AI and computer generated algos now, where they can they'll take a skull of a dinosaur and be like, oh, here's this air cavity.
Yeah,
What would they sound like breathing or roaring? And they can generate something that's pretty fucking accurate.
maybe.
Well,
what if like
far as we
T-Rexes sounded like giant chickens though?
I'll bet you T-Rexes sounded like this.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
we're
never know they're coming.
Yeah. Well, it's like, what if they weren't, like, we have all those bones now, but, like, what if they weren't actually scary looking? Because have you ever seen a hippo skull? Like, that's pretty
they're
freaky.
Fucking terrifying.
Yeah, you're like, oh my god, that doesn't look like from this world.
Right,
Just a fat
alien.
blubber.
Yeah. And then
Man
you see
eater.
them and you're like, oh, it's such a cute. Yeah.
Yeah.
The deadliest animal in Africa. So we are at Top Shelf Sip and Smoke Numero Uno for Tobacco on Main Street. And here's a little bit about the cigar pack. So there's 4 cigars in the pack. Price of admission, $100. And of course, you can also purchase delicious food and drinks, which we did from Covalent. The headliner is the Ashton Estate Sun-Grown 20-Year Salute from 2017. Good fucking luck finding it anywhere except here. And this is it.
And it's not even available here.
It's not even available here. Tom got his hands on 20, and they went into these 20 packets for 20 seats at Top Shelf Sip and Smoke. The Ashton ESG 20-Year Salute 2017 is a Dominican Puro from the Fuente Estate. Medium to full-bodied flavors of nuttiness, earth, and spice. Number 2 is the Oliva Serie V Melanio Maduro Churchill. Nice big stick. It's a Nicaraguan box press cigar with a Mexican wrapper. And, of course, its smoke is very rich and thick. Notes of German chocolate cake, malted chocolate, baking spices, cedar, and a little bit of tannin in there. Additionally, there's the Oliva Serie V Lancero. This is a Nicaraguan cigar with, the Lancero format, which makes it punchier. Dense smoke with earthy pistachio, nutmeg, and chocolate-covered almond notes. And rounding out the bunch is the Christoph PCA 2022 Signature Series. It's a Connecticut broadleaf wrapper over Dominican binder and a Dominican Nicaraguan filler. And it's amazing because it has all of the full-bodied flavors you would expect, earth and leather and cedar and spice, but it's only about a 6 in strength. And so if you're having a night where you're smoking multiple cigars like we are, it's a great stick. And that's why it was my starter stick. I wanted to kind of start there and work my way up.
By the way, if you want some really solid, nice Mustang GT, not a GT, but a Dark Horse.
Did you hear the sound of that motor?
Yeah.
Small penis, small penis, small penis, small penis.
Well, anyways, if you want some solid stock trading advice, look up Chris Kramer.
Go fuck yourself, Chris.
So, free use, by the way. Can't sue us for that one.
I think it's fair use.
Yeah, fair use.
And I'm pretty sure I can say fuck you. He'd probably say fuck you right back, though. So fuck you, Kramer.
Yeah. Not the other Kramer.
Loser, talking head, bullshit. Don't you dare follow that bullshit advice. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's better trading shows out there. But, I mean, even like Investing for Beginners. There's a better podcast for that. But also, like, you don't have to... Like, for me, I'm very hands-off. I'm like, I just want to make money, and I don't want to work at it. So I just look at market sectors. For example, last summer, you know what I did? I bought all the bonds. I just bought all the bonds. I moved money out of the S&P 500 and into bonds. Why? Interest prices went up, and everyone's saying they're going down. bonds move inversely to interest rates. So I made a fucking killing on bonds in the last 6 months, and I avoided getting raped by the stock market going down. Guess what I'm doing right now? I'm buying the stock market. It's at a discount. And I don't fuck around with individual stocks and all that. Nobody is that fucking good. You're not that good. Ray Dalio is that good. He's it. You know, there's like 3 people. Right? I just buy the entire market. Vanguard, S&P 500, ETF, no load. It's like fucking 17 basis points or something for the load. So I just keep making money. But I just look at market sector, you know. Where's it going, this sector, and then I buy in the other sector. But I also use dollar cost averaging to come out on top over time. So every month I have a certain amount of money that I invest, and I buy this much of this sector, this much of this asset class, this much of that, right? Gold, real estate investment trusts, bonds, stocks. And since I'm buying a certain percentage every month, yeah, sometimes I buy it when the market's up and I lose money. Sometimes I buy it when it's down and I make a ton of money. But over time, dollar cost averaging, that's the whole point. Risk reduction strategy. But I do, you know, I have 20% that is unassigned, and I buy whatever is on discount. Dude, if bonds are cheap, buy bonds. And then you sell them when they're not cheap. If stocks are cheap, buy stocks. So that's what I'm doing right now is, hey, stock market is fucking crashing. I'm just buying it all the way down, right? And I'll buy it, you know, half of the way back up. And then you know what I'm going to do? Move those assets in my brokerage account to whatever is cheap. You know, this is not rocket science.
Buy low, sell high, literally.
Derp, you know, like, I'm not trying to be smarter than everybody else in the room.
Let the market react how it's going to react, and then you're just like, let's go here.
I don't care if it's going up or down. And by the way, when it's going down, you know what I do? It's called options, you know? Like, the whole thing is you can bet on the market, you know, but, and of course, you know, I don't do much technical trading, but, you know, I did learn candlestick market analysis. So I keep an eye on the 200-day moving average and stuff like that. But it's easier than that. I don't have to do anything, and my dollar cost averaging is going to make me money. But also, I just, you know, that 120%, I just buy whatever's fucking cheap. And guess what? It goes up. So that's not financial advice. Check with your own financial advisor, and we take no liability or responsibility, and basically, fuck you.
Yeah, welcome to the Burnline Economic Cast,
where we do not give financial advice.
Not financial
advice. This is an educational show. I'm just telling you what I do. All right, well, so for all of you guys out there on the tubes, you know, we're editing this podcast before we air it and, you know, cutting out some of the time that we spent socializing and just smoking and enjoying this event. And so, you know, your experience is going to be shorter than ours. But we've actually been recording for over an hour and a half, and it is time to wrap this up. So we are going to sign off on Burnline Podcast. Thank you for joining us on this special edition. Top Shelf Sip and Smoke with Tobacco on Main Street, hosted at Covalent Spirits, also on Main Street, kind of across the street. By the way, if you're anywhere near Westminster, Maryland, fucking hit up Main Street. You got Liquid Library. You got Covalent Spirits, that wood-fired pizza place. And, of course, Tobacco on Main Street. Stop by, enjoy yourself. It's a great little day trip. Very, like, picturesque, historic town.
Yeah, especially this Memorial Day weekend, like, just in the area.
Absolutely. Yeah. So swing on by, enjoy yourself. We love you. Take care. Keep it smoky, my friends.